I'm with Dan.
Although my budget is good.
It is, you're really good at your budget. That's for council, that's why it's pushed up here.
Okay.
You are like,
Let's call this meeting to order. I'll do a roll call. Ennis,
Here.
Leonard,
Yes.
I am here. No. Any public comments? No public comments. All right, can I get a motion to approve the March finance meeting?
Yes. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Items of business, administrative costs for cannabis business.
you're from over here. What kind of give you guys those? Tim knows more about this than I.
Timeline of everything that happened with the whole bringing in cannabis, what we had to do, what happened, how many times we had to go back and forth. You're right. Kind of explaining what they're asking for and what, instead of kind of a deep dive on what everyone else is paying, so yeah, comparison. And then I gave you what our. The second part of that was what I do. To get them licensed.
So local
or
roots,
review their licensing.
local roots is gonna, wants us to lower their application fee annually. Their annual application fee, that's what the main thing is. So Kim did some research, on what others are doing, to kind of prepare what all she does. We also have to think Dan puts time into it as well. Do you have that in here?
Yeah, it's the list of everything that has to be done. That I
Oh,
do
that's
on my
okay.
end.
And this you do every year
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we're unaware of it until today,
What? No, you.
that you have to do this every year.
No, she doesn't.
You approve that they're every year. They bring in all the information. I go through the whole list. I contact.
You go through this and check all the boxes.
Yeah, I make sure that everything is
Every
done,
year.
they have everything, and then I contact.
This is the first
Cannabis,
I've known that we had to do.
yeah, they have to renew every year.
So you guys
Right.
approve the renewal every
We did
year.
it
Yeah.
in December, I think,
Yes.
Do you know?
but I've
Give
never
yourself
seen
more
that.
credit.
No,
Well, this
that's
is,
just the internal stuff that we do.
I
You get
didn't
it.
know that you had to do anything to
Oh, yeah,
take care of them.
yes.
yes, so.
Yeah, we have to make sure they're in compliance and they, like, when they come in, they bring all the stuff in, I have to check all that, they have everything that they're supposed to. And then I have to let the state know that they're good.
Is this a mess of ours?
It depends, I mean, it could be, if there's ever any problems, right now, they've been very good and. They keep up and they fill out their stuff,
Well, this all came because they asked for a,
they're asking for, where our fee is $3,500 a year.
yeah, and
And
they
they're
want,
asking it to drop it to 500.
if we would consider dropping it by $3,000, or we could pick something in between.
Yeah, that's what they're asking. That's why I gave you a rundown of what other municipalities charge. Pretty much throughout the state. There was.
And truly,
Free and
any
five.
change would have to be a change of the ordinance.
Yes, I do believe it would be an ordinance change, because I do believe it does state in there that is a $3,500.
So it's not a simple,
No.
No.
And
I mean, it's not the
I mean,
highest either, cause.
yeah, some of the stuff that, like, that's why I kind of gave you a rundown of everything. Because it was cost a lot of money to write the ordinance, change the ordinance twice. Well, that cost us a lot of money up front. Then they went down to where we could only have one. And then we had to change it again. So, originally we did put a lot of money.
But we've also been getting 50-some thousand dollars a year.
But that has nothing to do,
It's just the state.
that's
But if they weren't
everyone.
here, we wouldn't get it,
Right.
right?
But if we could have two, we could double. They forced us to only have one.
Well,
Well, they didn't
They-
force it.
They went to the voters, they got a petition,
Yeah.
they made us change the ordinance again. They took it to the voters and they said, no, we're only gonna have one.
Why don't we do this for?
I mean, that part of the money has nothing to do with the fee that we charge.
they're two separate things,
Yes.
but the voters didn't want to employ. Talk to people, I don't think they want to.
Well, I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
The only reason we don't, we get the liquor and beer. And wine is because that's always been a good thing.
well, he doesn't have to do anything for that,
Right.
yeah.
It's
Like, you don't have to call and,
the way the law is.
yeah, I mean, marijuana is very regulated,
Right.
overly, probably.
Well, that's.
Someday it won't be.
I think it's-
Someday it probably won't be, it'll be
it's
like.
discriminatory. I think of the two.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely, yeah.
Smoking is probably less harmful overall to the society.
Well, it's kind of outside of our.
So, yeah. We're going down a rabbit hole. I agree.
I'm saying we should all partake before we come to.
Not sure if that would speed up or slow down.
No kidding.
And then how everyone reacts to it.
You guys have a sense of how much actual time we have to put into getting them licensed every year, like? And I know you aren't like hitting a clock every time you do
No,
it. but
no.
A few hours.
It all depends. I mean, if we had, problems down there, then we're talking police time. That's why I think the figure is stayed that way throughout the whole state. That there's no one in the state that charges less than $3,000. No, I could not find one municipality in the state. Well, not all the states around us are legal, so, so I think that's,
Kind of
The safe part.
protecting.
yes,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, if they have a ruckus down there, if they're, doing something where it has to be policed, he has to go down there.
Charging them, they got a new license in Perry now.
I think Perry was 35.
Hmm.
It was 30 or, it was 3 or 35.
The ones that were 3 were the ones that if they had, like Lansing has 1, 2 of the same owner. They give a discount to the second, so they charge 5 for the first one, 3 for the second.
Makes
I'm
sense.
trying to be fair.
Right.
Fair and balanced, that's with my friends.
I mean, they've gotten hit.
You've got cars that drive through.
Yep.
They might take police presence and trouble. You've got people that have mental issues that take up police time. We've got bars that probably take up police time once in a while.
Yeah.
Are they paying? Well, they are in taxes. But you see what I'm saying?
Yep, I see.
Can we put all the burden on one business? And
And they have been hit. I'm assuming that's why they're asking to drop it, because they've been hit with the high tax now, so they're not making their profit lines have
well,
definitely gone down.
and what little I've paid attention to it, it sounds like the big boys with money in their pockets are trying to take over the business and run these little family local owned places out. And I don't know if they're struggling or not, but
Well, that could.
I look at the
$50,000
$50,000 a year that we get.
Their budget.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I mean, it is, I mean,
They're what?
it's a
Their
viable
budget.
thing for us to
Yeah.
ask. If they're hurting, they need to prove that they're hurting. And
Yeah, it's a private company. I don't see them gonna give up their financials.
No, but they don't, isn't the amount of money we receive every year directly tied to what they report to the state?
No, because, well, a little bit, but because everybody in the state puts in their money into the giant pot, then the state divides it amongst all the licensed regulatory.
yeah, it's a
And then
huge
that
formula.
determines
Yeah,
how
it's not
much
like
each jurisdiction gets.
their
and
income's
each
coming,
license.
that amount's coming to us. No, that goes into like all the big
It's per
ones.
capita.
Yeah, It all goes into one pot and then ever gets distributed to everyone by how many they have.
Oh, yeah, it's like how many they have per capita, you can find it honestly.
So if we get
Want to dig around.
50,000 for one license and Lansing has 10 licenses, so Lansing's making a lot of money.
But is it? If it's per capita though, that may not be like a 1-to-1 ratio either, though, right?
No, everyone gets the
No,
same.
everybody gets them, so
It's
Same
Every
per
license.
capita.
of the same amount
Yeah.
per.
Yep.
they divide it
Location.
equally amongst all the licensed establishments.
Mhm.
So they do well to open another store in Langsberg and get the ordinance changed.
Well, they
And
opened one
then-
in Perry, so they don't need
But if they
to.
did it twice here, then we would get 110,000.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it doesn't come directly out of their pay. They're not paying us, they pay us, it's those are the one thing.
Out of the taxes.
Yeah.
But it is out of the taxes they collect.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it comes out of, well, like the big ones in Lansing, they're making, ton more money than this one is, but it all gets put into one
together.
pot.
I thought about it from the standpoint also of their community involvement.
Which,
Oh.
yes, they have to, that's
Oh,
like a stipulation
fellow-
of their license,
Oh, it is?
yeah. Yeah, they have to give back to the community,
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Um,
that-
I think it's
that's a
tricky too,
good
because
thing.
then you're trading, you're saying, well, you don't have to pay as much in licensing. If you give back to the community, so are you really giving back to the community, or are you just
Yeah, and
donating
it's,
some
it's for-
turkeys to save a couple grand? Right,
Yeah.
so then it becomes
Yeah.
transactional in nature.
required for them to, give back, they have to sponsor so many things and, which, I mean, I like that.
Yeah.
Act, I mean, I think that's a good thing.
And knowing them,
It all
they'll probably do it
contributes to
anyway,
that.
so it'd be easy for them, that's kind of
Yeah,
knowing them a little bit.
the other thing is they are a business that's filling a building in town.
Yep.
It's kept up, looks good.
Looks
They
great,
bring
they do a really
people
nice
to
job.
town. Those people might go to restaurants and hardware stores.
I do believe that is a requirement, they have a lot of requirements for what, I think they have to keep their building looking good, like, not just us, the state requires them to do that.
Well, the drive-through Lansing, and I don't think you're gonna find one that looks anywhere
Yeah.
near as attractive.
Oh, no, not, but it's gotta be clean, it can't have, certain things around it, I mean, they've got a lot of restrictions on what their building can look like.
I think
They
we're
have
very
to be-
full. It
We are fortunate, yes, yes.
doesn't smell like.
Yeah, I mean, what they did with the DDA grant was amazing. I'm like,
Mhm.
can you do that for all of our people that want to?
Yeah, that would be one thing.
I guess my feeling was with all of the above considerations that cutting a little slack would not kill us.
No, and it's
But-
not taking me, if I were to add up all the hours, it's not.
And they're not,
$3,500.
and they're not a problem,
No,
truly.
No,
I think having
I
a
don't
conversation at
anticipate
council about maybe, it'd be nice if they, are they coming to council?
yes, he will be.
Okay, then that might be a good conversation to have and see what would be middle ground if.
Well, and
Yeah, cause 500.
they are asking for 500 versus 3,500.
It's not like,
I don't want to give the perception that we're absolutely rigid and tough. It is what it is and live with it. I'd like to show a little bit of, we'll work with you.
The problem is whatever we do, if they leave. Because they do have a shop in Perry and with that, and I don't keep up on that industry. But with the little bit I Googled in my free time today, which was minimal. With that tax, if they decide to close up shop and then we get a new person to fill that vacancy in Langsford. We would,
ordinance, it says.
now we're charging them the reduced rate without having any idea of what sort of steward they're going to be, how big of a problem there's then.
But it sounds like they have to be a quite good one.
That, I
They don't
mean, the
have
parts,
choice.
yeah, I mean, they do have lots of,
And you can see how.
There's a
choice there is.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
difference.
yeah, I mean, it's.
Not to pick on Lansing,
I'm
anywhere where
guessing,
there's a lot of.
I'm guessing he's not gonna be the first one to be asking this, just because of the.
We've
tax
only
hit
got a
that they
moment. Why did
received.
we switch to?
Because it was me, it was on me, and then things went awry, and we didn't have to, so I'm sorry.
Oh, and then
Like,
you need,
no, we didn't do it, it was too late to change. That's
So it
what
sounds
I
like we're gonna
thought, so.
be talking about that at council too then, so
move it
move on to the CIP fund alignments.
Okay, so this will be on council too, obviously, most of everything will be.
Yeah.
So CIP's had, got a hammer down. Don't know, the only thing it is, I don't know where, in between from when it started to now, where there were journal entries or something that were not done fully or not done correctly. So we need to do it correctly so that our reserves match our cash. So I am bringing it, I knew to ask, but in a way it was already approved in the past to have these monies transferred. But we're out of, we're in a different budget.
the
fiscal-
150.
Right.
Yes, we're in a different budget, different fiscal year, so I just wanted to make you guys aware, and I want everyone to vote on it, say yay, nay.
But we already have, but not us.
Oh, another,
Another,
So,
Yeah.
like another, yes, cause,
Past council.
yes,
yes,
so,
Voted
whether it was
to
a-
do so, but if.
yeah, I don't know exactly, and I wasn't gonna dig in the last 4 years of journal entries to figure out where it was either.
And you'll just take it out of general and put it in CIP.
Yeah. So it's not like we're losing the money, it's just getting transferred.
The CIP,
Yes.
which is where we want it all.
And that'll,
anyway.
right, exactly. So then that'll bring us to the reserves that I brought last. So that's what that is.
Okay.
Then in the future, we're planning on like auditing the CIP on a regular.
Yeah,
basis.
so the second page is a cheat sheet, if I leave or Cassie leaves or anyone in the treasury leaves, it shows how it needs to be done, so it's done correctly. So that will be done in June of this year for this budget cycle for 25-26. So our numbers will grow again, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Very good.
Now you know what that is.
all right, so the PPT disbursement,
Okay, personal property tax reimbursement. That is state
Personal tax.
personal property tax, small business. All that is getting redone, but this act began with 2014. Was not very transparent like it is within the last couple of years. They send out what is collected for each millage, the calculation, so we know where to go where. It never was actually stated that we have to disperse those when we get that reimbursement back from the state. But within the last, I don't know how, I went back like 3 years or 4 years, and it has always had the breakdown.
But it didn't get pulled.
So we have it, but we got pulled, but it never was dispersed.
in The library.
Right, but technically and legally, it doesn't have to be given to the library because they're not essential. And it's not their millage. They're not an essential millage. Sarah had approached me about it, as well, and I said, oh, that's funny because I've been looking into it as well. And she had learned, this is all gonna be on interpretation. So when she was at her training, they said, oh, no, you have to. Well, every millage is different. So maybe, yes, some libraries are voted in by the voters. We are not. We are voted in by council, their villages. So it is not essential. So legally, we do not,
We do a mill.
right,
and then-
from the council,
Yeah.
but it's not from the voters. So if it was voted in from the voters and it was an actual millage,
Sure.
then yes, it has to go to them. So I'm bringing this because I know that she was asking about it, and if it is something that you want to move forward, that we just automatically give them, it's only like, it's around $300 a year. It
Really?
gets reimbursed from the state. It has to be dispersed for fire, it has to be dispersed for the road,
you said it was 3,000.
from 2014 to now.
It's
Gotcha.
3,000.
So
I
is
see.
it- that would be
I
to
see.
catch up, if they want,
You're-
we can wait to see if they
Sure.
want to ask. We could offer to give them I could find out they're all the solid numbers. It's no more than 350. And I've looked back 8 years. I only need to go back a couple more. So it would be between 3,000 and 3,500 if we wanted to go all the way back. We are not legally obligated to do that. So it would be up to us if we just want to do we all need to vote, like, do we want, as a policy, do we want me to just disperse it every fall when we get it, or not?
We have the authority, or is it going to council anyway?
It's gonna go to the council.
Yeah, it's
My recommendation would be from finance to council, so what you guys think about it would be to say, yeah, we'll make a goodwill gesture of $2,000. And word it like that, so it's not a binding thing, and then say in the future, we plan on these.
Yeah.
Won't guarantee.
I can do it, I can do it this year. I mean,
Yeah.
because we will get it.
Right.
We always will have that. So,
The other part of it too, though, is you do a lot of work for their budget, getting it into everything, and they don't pay for you to do it. So $300 a year, we could argue is them paying you or the city for your time to get their budget in place, to get everything in,
payroll,
right, in the
Benefits.
way that you're supposed to. So you're,
Or are we here to provide services for taxes paid? Or are we here to make money
well, technically,
or break even? I think that I value the library, and I think that $300 is not gonna break our back.
no, I do get what RJ is saying.
Right,
too,
but
because we
I
also
I
have to pay
understand
for-
what you're saying, but I
Right.
also would argue that I don't think we should look at our job from a profit motive frame of mind.
No, and I agree with you, and I value the library, I also value fluidity, so I wouldn't mind putting ourselves in a position where we can take care of the library.
yeah,
Knowing that the library has historically had some financial hardships. But give us the ability in the future, so maybe not set a policy. But a guideline, so then moving forward, if things were to change and libraries flush and parks are really in need, I think we can. Put that money where it's needed, and you're right, we're talking about $350, so it's not
Right.
like it.
Well,
But maybe
that-
that changes, too. Yeah,
Yeah, right, it's a policy that could change.
yeah, right.
So where we wanna do one thing now, in 5 years, maybe we don't wanna do it that way. Or in 5 years, if we don't ever even actually get the reimbursement.
We can change the plan on that.
Who knows?
all right.
Take those big one, right?
Before we run out of time, let's do a quick discussion on the last one of the 120 railroad property.
This one's caused me a little bit of blood pressure problem. All we're asking is we take a pile of dirt and change it from or change a pond into dirt. That's all we're asking for. And I asked for it last year and nothing happened. And now we are here a year later and it's gonna cost us $6,000 a year, $9,000. Who came up with all this?
The quotes that we got.
Three of them.
No, there's-
Those are the millings. And then you have to think about everything else. That's why everything is presented in front of you.
It hasn't been touched in 20 years.
And
So
maybe
how are
to
we
sell
gonna
it,
spend $9,000 every year at it?
to maintain it. Once we put the millings there, now we're obligated. to
Okay,
maintain them.
then just dump some dirt in the mud puck.
And that is up to everyone to decide. This is the information given,
I
and then
didn't
it's up
think
to
that
everyone.
this was a blown apart.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
not.
it's just giving
Catastrophic.
information because that road is not a road. First of all, it should be blocked off and not used. Cause it's a piece of property.
Hasn't it been?
I don't know. That's what we're bringing to here now, saying if we put millings in there. Now we're
You're
getting to
influencing.
that close to turning it into a road, having to maintain it.
But it appears that it is being used.
It is,
There isn't any vegetation growing into it.
which we talked about, like, we should block that off, just like we need to block off behind Jen's and stop using that as a parking lot. We're going against our own ordinances right now.
Do we plow it?
Yes,
So we maintain it in the winter?
that was initially set up to be used for the fire department, that's the only reason we have ever done that.
Well, we are maintaining.
Yes, just one swipe for the fire trucks to get through.
So I guess my thought is, why don't we just do one swipe with the backhoe and fill that pond in? And we do it once a year.
And call it done.
Well, like I was explaining to Jake, I mean, it's not, we're just trying to stop it from
Yeah,
Turning
becoming
into
an issue because we start maintaining it, we start putting millings in, which is against our ordinance.
yeah.
We then are gonna have to figure out how we're gonna keep it maintained because we're not getting any more.
Gravel in there, that'd be okay.
I don't think so. I think that gravel would not be considered.
It has to be
there
dust
either.
free, I mean,
Yeah.
right, that's zoning, it's the dust free.
I think, just for context, having a brief discussion when I first got up here. City Hall 100% in supportive of the Lions using the property.
I
Of the
Well,
festival.
because I also saw that the Lions is not paying for electricity that's getting used, and it went on and on and on. And the more I read, the more my blood pressure was blowing.
It's just information.
it's information to let you know that we're putting another $3,000 into something that.
We
We're-
don't see anything back,
We're-
which is
we're-
not we, this is the entire city, this is taxpayer money. This is why all the information is presented, it's not just,
The
it's not
Lions
for you to get.
every dime of their income back to the communities.
I think that's part of the problem with these agendas sometimes is because they lack context. That was my initial response, and I read it, I'm like, boy, we spent more time.
Our job is not to give you, our job is to give you the facts.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
it.
And those are all facts.
Yeah. No.
I mean, that's
100%.
that's where the whole thing of you're thinking we're against something else. It's not that. We're trying to give you guys the facts of what is happening, what we're spending, where we're spending it. It's just the facts. This is not about, oh, we think we shouldn't be doing this and we don't think, that is not it at all. It's okay, we find these things and go, uh-oh, this is not a road. Now we're treating it like a road. Maybe we need to take a step back and find out what the rules are, what we can do, what we can't do. I mean, I've been saying for months about the property behind Jen. We are against our own ordinance. I mean, if somebody wants to come in here and they want to put an apartment building in here, we're like, no, you have to put a parking lot in. Well, you didn't. You're letting people park there. Why do I have to do it? I'm trying to stop. We're trying to keep things the right way. It's not, we're not trying to say, oh, well, these guys, yeah, they just take and take and take. It's not, it's the fact, what is actually happening. I mean, it's not, yeah.
No, and I appreciate that, because you're right, moving forward, the last thing we want to do is inadvertently create a financial future expense that we don't want into the.
Right.
So,
I love the carnival. It was used to be on my birthday every year and I was here when high school, when it became a carnival, so I support it all the way.
oh,
I know, so am I.
All right, do we have anything else on the other?
Motion. to adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn.
That would be.
There we go.
Just.
you run a time.